the concept originally started over 20 years ago, but we didn't get down to the nitty-gritty till about 11 years ago. And it took us 2 years to get together all the planning and raise the money to be able to put the infrastructure in and be able to get the first displays purchased. So we've been showing displays to the community since for 9 years now. And every year we try to either add something or move them around, or over the past 3 years we've done a lot of changes in the displays, taking them from a standard incandescent bulb to an LED lamp, which uses less energy, takes less maintenance, and gives a brighter, a more brilliant display.
Compare the first year you did this to what it's like now, the number of displays and that sort of thing.
Well, I wasn't in charge of it back then, so I don't know that I have all of the answers to that, but we've probably added, at least 10 or 15 displays since the first year, I would think. We've definitely improved in our design of the displays, putting the scenes together and trying to make a more presentable display for the people to see when they come through.
Now you have sponsors that will sponsor the display, but then they pay for it and then you guys have to put it together?
Well, the displays, most of our displays are all made by one company in Indiana. They can, if somebody wants to sponsor a display, they can pick a display that has already been designed, or they can custom make a display. They come in panels, and we assemble the panels every year. We have to take them apart at the end of the season and put them back together during the season. But the actual design of it is done by this outfit in Indiana.
Okay. I know that you house everything in like a mystery location after Christmas. But can you kind of describe the process of getting everything out and putting it all together down at the Lakeshore Park?
Well, it depends on the year and what we have to do. The past 3 years, we've been changing LED bulbs on the displays at a warehouse location, which we won't be using anymore because we're done with that process. But we store them on trailers in between that. So when it depends on how we're doing it. Last year, the last couple of years, we would work on the displays, and then we would load a trailer in the order that we wanted to put them down in the park, and we just actually haul a trailer like a semi, like you see on the road. We have 3 of them, and we haul them down there and we unload displays. This year, hopefully, we're not going to be making any more changes to that, so we'll be able to load them on in the order that we want to take them off, so we won't have to play with them, because these displays are very heavy, and it usually takes us like 8 people to move them around, usually 4 per display, but some of the displays actually take more than that.
And how long does it take to get everything up? And
we spend about 5 weekends working on it. Obviously not full time, and depends on the weather, but we put in, the first weekend we always put in a good 8-hour day, and then either on the Saturday or Sunday following those, we put in 4 or 5 hours on those days. And we have different crews that do different things. The first thing we have to do is physically put up the displays. That takes a lot of manpower. And then we have to hook up the electrical to the displays, and we wait a couple of weeks before we do that. The past couple of years, Ashta Chemical has been very helpful in sending some people down and on the weekend to help us hook all the electrical together.
And Lakeshore has done a kind of a revamping of its electrical system, hasn't it?
Well, we revamped their electrical system. Yeah, that was all our money that we raised to put in and do the electrical system. Lakeshore Park can use it, while we're not using it. But all that infrastructure was money that we raised. Lakeshore Park didn't put any money into that. And they, in fact, they help us with things that we're doing, but we pay them for whatever they do. This is a Lights on the Lake activity, not a specific Lakeshore Park activity.
And this comes from money that you collect from people going through?
Well, yeah, we have a number of sources. We have people that just donate to us during the year. We have money for the displays from the display sponsors, and then we have a $5 a car ticket price coming through the gate, and that helps to pay for all the various expenses. There's a lot that goes into this. Security, insurance, the electric power, advertising. So we are a nonprofit organization, and that really is what we are. We generally break even at the end of a season.
So you can just stuff a car full of people and go down there for $5 and see the display.
Right. We have cars that come in with one person and cars that come in with 10. It's all $5. A lot of people bring their dogs down there. I guess dogs really like the lights. And so we have reindeer treats that we give the dogs when they come through, and candy that we give to the passengers of the cars when they come.
You have Santa Claus is there on certain days.
Santa Claus is there on Friday night until Christmas. We're actually open after Christmas, and he's not there on a Friday after Christmas, but he's there and he's there now for the next 3 weeks, I think it is.
So it's on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays from 6 to 9 p.m.?
Yes, that's
And then
correct.
on New Year's Eve and Christmas it's...
No, not New Year's.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, but that we have been open on New Year's, but because New Year's falls outside of the weekend time, we won't be, but we are open on Christmas Eve and Christmas from 6 to 8.
Okay. And you also have the trolley.
Yeah, we have several. We don't coordinate that. It's left up to the individual companies, and we work with them. But we have Jolly Trolley that does rides. We have Tony's Hot Dog Shop has a bus that they bring through, and Lonely Oaks Wagons works out of the Crow's Nest, and you can call them for a reservation if you want to do that. That's an open horse-drawn wagon, which is really nice.
I talked to them last
do that.
year.
Yeah.
We have blankets and things.
That's very cold.
Yeah.
you need to bundle up to do that ride usually, but it's a fun ride. And all of the groups have some sort of music or entertainment or elves or whatever on their vehicles as they're bringing them around. The buses and the trolley don't just do lights on the lake. They take them around to some of the other neighborhoods in the city that are decorated. Thursday the 11th, we're trying an experiment. Normally everybody has to stay in their cars, and we've had some requests for walkthroughs. So we're trying on Thursday 11th. We're going to have a walkthrough that people can park their car at the top of the park in the pavilion parking lot by where our toy soldiers are, and walk through the park. They have to stay on the road, but they can come through the whole display. We're starting that at 6 o'clock, and we'll actually be wrapping it up by 8 o'clock, so they need to start heading back before that, because that's when the lights will go off. But it's an experiment. We're going to see how it works.
Now, how do you charge people for that?
We're charging them $1 a person.
Okay.
And but if everything pulls together, there's supposed to be some carolers down there and some people with hot chocolate, and you can walk through the park. If you're not really looking at anything, it takes about 12 minutes depending on how fast you walk. But we figure people will be down there for at least a half hour or an hour, because they're going to be walking slowly.
And there's a lot of people go to this, so there's not anything like this in the area.
We're the only one that we know of around here. Blossom had one for a few years, and they closed a couple years ago. Tennessee doesn't do theirs anymore. There was a place in Pennsylvania not too far from here that closed a couple of years ago, and so we're the only one right around here that we know of. We're not as big as Olga Bay, but we're not as far away,
Right.
And we only charge $5, so it's a pretty inexpensive evening's entertainment for the family. We do like it to become a family tradition. We have a lot of people that you'll have the parents and the kids and the grandparents all crammed into the same car, and that's fine. That's what we like to see. We also do senior citizen buses come through a lot, and we only charge them $5 if they have a senior citizen bus, because that's part of what we're doing to give back to the community.
There's also the like a lottery thing or something that you can win if you buy tickets in advance.
Yeah, there's too many details to remember of everything. We do sell advance tickets. It saves a little time at the gate, and you can use them to gift to people. They cost $5 for a ticket. But if you buy a packet of 6 tickets, it's only $25, so you're basically getting one trip free. And on the back of that, we have a couple of sponsors that donate money for this, and you can win. Somebody every year wins $500 cash.